Very good morning, students. In the series of the videos on the muscles of the upper limb, okay, so this is the series where I am teaching you the muscles of the upper limb in short. Okay, today is the video based on the muscle of the front of the arm or from the anterior compartment of the arm. Okay, if we cut a section of the arm, okay, here, then we see something like that. The outer white color chalk I had drawn is the skin. Below that is the yellow color chalk is the superficial fascia, which contains various cutaneous nerve, okay, as well as the veins. Then deep to this superficial fascia, this green color chalk line is indicating the deep fascia, and in the center is the cross section of the humerus, and this cross section of the humerus is showing the three borders and three surfaces. Naturally, it is going from the lower half of the humerus. Thus, there is the attachment of the septa or the intermuscular septa on medial side and indicate medial, anterior, posterior and lateral side. So this is the medial intermuscular septum going to that of the medial ridge, okay, supracondylar ridge. Similarly, this is the lateral intermuscular septum on lateral side, showing you the lateral intermuscular septum and its attachment onto the humerus. The whole of the upper limb will be divided into an anterior compartment and a posterior compartment. We know by this time that anterior compartment consists of the three muscles. These muscles are coracobrachialis, biceps brachii and the brachialis. So there are three muscles, while in posterior compartment, as we will learn in the next video, is a single muscle called as the triceps. Just in introduction, I would like to say that all the three muscles of the anterior compartment, they are the flexor muscles, okay, while the posterior compartment is the extensor muscle of the arm. Now, if we see the bones which will give attachment to the three muscles of the front of the arm, they will be, as I have narrated here, coracobrachialis, biceps and brachialis. Most of them, they take origin either from the scapula or the humerus, and their insertion is onto the radius and that of the ulna. Now here you can see this is the scapula here, and you can see that this is the coracoid process of the scapula, the glenoid cavity of the scapula, the lateral border, and this is the humerus, head of the humerus, the lesser tubercle and that of the greater tubercle, and this is the bicipital groove or the intertubercular sulcus. Similarly, the medial epicondyle, the trochlea, pulley-like structure, and this ball-like structure is the capitulum, which articulates below with the radius, and here the trochlea is articulating with that of the ulna. So these are the bony features which are necessary. Now I will, from time to time, will tell you about the origin, insertion and now supply of these muscles. Let us come to the first muscle, the coracobrachialis. Coracobrachialis is a muscle which, as the name suggests, comes from the tip of the coracoid process. This is the tip of the coracoid process. From it takes origin along with, in common with that of the muscle that is the short head of the biceps, okay, and then this, after its origin, immediately it becomes a fleshy muscle and it comes to get inserted onto the middle of the, near the medial border of the humerus, okay, in the middle part of the medial border of the humerus. This is that muscle, the coracobrachialis. I have little extended to the lateral side, but it is from the tip. Just remember that it is from the tip, and that's too much more medial to the origin of the biceps brachii, as we will see just now. This was the glenoid cavity here. This was the coracoid process. So it is from the tip, it is taking origin from the coracoid process, and its insertion is almost in the middle, okay, of the shaft arm near the medial border here. Okay, so this is the origin and this is the insertion. Now, if you trace this muscle from origin to the insertion, you will notice that it is crossing a single joint, and that is the shoulder joint. So, its action will be also on the shoulder joint. Since this is the muscle taking origin from the coracoid process and then it is going to the arm, what it is going to do here, it is going to bring the, here on this side, okay, it is going to bring the arm towards that of the front of the chest. See this is the coracobrachialis from coracoid process to the arm here. When it will contract, then it will bring it here, the arm towards the front of the chest. This is called as the flexion of the arm. So this is bringing the arm or humerus in front of the chest wall, and it is the flexion of the humerus, because this will be the extension and this will be the flexion of it is little different. And the reason is that here the glenoid cavity almost is facing towards the 45 degree between the coronal and the sagittal plane, and that is the reason why the flexion and extension, they will go in this direction. This will be the flexion and this will be that of the extension. Flexion and extension. Let us come to the nerve supply of the coracobrachialis after learning the origin and insertion of this muscle. And this is the nerve supply is from the nerve which is called as the nerve to the musculocutaneous nerve. It is known as musculocutaneous nerve because its proximal part supply to them all the three muscles. The name of these three muscles are here from the anterior compartment. All three muscles are supplied by the musculocutaneous nerve, whose root value is C5, C6 and C7. Okay. Now, this muscle after is supplying, okay, this usually this branch for this is given before it pierces the coraco, because this muscle after it's coming close to the coracobrachialis, it will pierce the coracobrachialis and then it will come to the arm. But before it comes to the coracobrachialis and pierce it, the nerve usually takes origin and it supplies. So this is the origin, insertion, nerve supply and the action of this muscle, the coracobrachialis muscle, okay, acting